So, you know how rappers say they're going to retire, take a few months off, maybe years, and eventually come back one way or another, or unless they're Joe Budden? Well, we have another example of this, and this time it's Logic. I know we recently got his Doc D mixtape / album just a couple of months ago, but this time it's a little bit different. This time he's joining forces with the legendary Madlib to form MadGic, kind of in the same vein as Madvillain or Mad Gibbs. Most of y'all already know how I feel about Madlib, and most of y'all know how I feel about Logic. So, let's go bar for bar and see what these lyrics are all about. So it starts off with an intro. Damn, I hate writing a rap and then memorizing the whole shit and then just taking a shower and then you forget. I get it. I know exactly where he's coming from because whenever I do the bar for bar weekly, I think about the rhymes in the shower and then I come out, I'm like, well, I don't know what I was going to say anymore. This then goes right into the first verse. Break fast like a gab blast, it's half past, time to get rid of the trash. Don't do it for the cash, I'm writing beats while I'm whipping the BM. Break fast, breakfast, but also fast break. Fast breaks in sports are when you go from your side of the field, the court, whatever it is, and take the ball or puck or, again, whatever it is, to the offensive side, at which point you score as quickly as possible. Basically, the goal is to score as quickly as possible. So he's basically saying this fast break is like a gab blast. Gab blasts are very fast as well. I mean, guns, you know how fast bullets go. You don't do it for the cash. It kind of sounds like, Logic at this point in his career has essentially retired. So now it's less for him to make the money and more for him to have fun. And honestly, we might be getting a really good, second era or second half of his career coming. And especially if he's not doing it for the cash anymore. He's writing beats while I'm whipping the BM. That's not safe, but if that's how you do it, do you, bro. But it could also just be he's writing two beats, maybe just the transcription was a little bit off, which makes a little bit more sense. Like he could be listening to beats while he's driving around whipping the BM and just, have these lyrics in his head as he's driving around. That's something that a lot of people do, I feel. Should that make you throw up your hands like it's 12 p.m.? Youngins on the come up, yeah, I see him. I'm the old head now, uncle at the barbecue, like, go ahead now. We ain't stuck in the past. Shit that made you throw your hands up like it's 12 p.m. Basically, whatever he's writing, wherever he's creating, it's basically going to make you like, what the? Like, basically throwing your hands up like the two hands of the clock when it's 12 p.m. Youngins on the come up, yeah, I see him, he's old head now. This is basically him saying he's acknowledging the up-and-coming rappers, and technically he is one of the older heads now. He's basically a generation removed from the current rappers, like the new rappers. So I can see him or see where he's coming from. And he's not stuck in the past like some other OGs maybe. Because, OGs, not so much nowadays, but a few years ago, they were all just basically hating on all the new rappers. They're like, man, all this new shit out is trash. And I think it's more from other rappers that I've heard this more from and more from other people, not rappers. Because, I'm not old, but I am in that age group where people are like, man, whatever's coming out now is just not as good as it used to be. Like, come on now. Like, did you even try it? We living in the moment trying to make it last like a photograph. All the way from Maryland to Malibu. This rap shit will humble you, then balance you and challenge you. He is living in the moment. He is being present. He's trying to make whatever he's doing last like a photograph. Kind of the opposite of what a lot of people do when they go on trips and stuff. Yeah, you can you can create memories and stuff, but a lot of the opportunities you have to create memories are kind of ruined by you just like, oh, let me pull out my phone, let me record this. Yes, you can have fun with that, but that doesn't necessarily add to the memories. There's some things that you can only gain from the experience rather than just kind of doing your own thing, like if you're just on your phone on social media and shit. This rap shit will humble you, challenge you, and balance you. Yeah, I think that goes for a lot of careers, though. When you go into a certain career, you might think that it's one way, or like you think it's one way, and then you're like just you kind of feel like you know everything about it, but when you actually get into it, it's a lot different. I used to think it was bad biddies and big chains, looking up to Yeezy, realizing that was his thing. Then again, I was never one for the big brain. Dilla Dollar Bill presidential on my wrist, man. So when he was growing up, he used to think that rap was just about the women and the chains. And that makes sense. I think Logic's just a couple years older than me, so he more than likely listened to the same sort of music that I did growing up, which, if you watch the music videos, that's kind of what was on there. It was just a lot of women, a lot of money, a lot of chains, cars, like all the flashier things. He's also saying, yo, I wasn't really one for the big brain. To me, that means that he wasn't really listening, at least at first, to the more, I guess, conceptual or conscious or more abstract rap. Like, he wasn't really into that because, I mean, I get it. You're young. That's not really what's being played. And there's more to it. It's not as interesting necessarily right away. Dilla Dollar Bill, just kind of a shout out to Jay Dilla. Yoga Flip Flame, fuck what everybody doing right here. I'm with this thing. You got cars, homie. You got bars, homie. Basically, he's saying, he like, wherever you just walked into, he's like, man, no, fuck whatever y'all doing. I'm with this thing. He's basically flexing. He's like, oh, you got cars, you got bars? Bet. This is out of this world. This is Mars only. Yo, ayo. Not too many can do what I do. I'm the rap bastard. This is out of this world. This is Mars only. This is probably where he got the title for this track. But whatever he's saying, whatever he's rapping, this is out of this world. This is only available on Mars. Just a lot of braggadocio here. Not too many can do what he does in terms of rap. He's, again, just flexing. He's like, yo, I got all this skill. Y'all can't even touch me. And he is the rap bastard, meaning like he's just kind of this amalgamation of all these other rappers. I mean, he's pretty open about it. He gets a lot of influence from other MCs. And it shows pretty frequently. I mean, here it's a little bit less so because it's a little bit different than when he normally raps and how he normally raps. But every once in a while you see like aspects of other rappers coming out. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, just something to point out. My style has been perfected and mastered. Get mad and get pestered. With Dog D getting plastered. Lyrically, I'm Skywalker if you ever went to the dark side. His style, I mean, yeah, Logic does have a style that he tends to rap in. This one is a little bit different, like I just mentioned, though. But basically, he's saying all these listeners, all these people who are listening to him are getting mad and pestered because of how he's rapping or because he's not rapping to their standards, which, to be fair, I'm one of those people, like, where I was a fan of Logic during the Under Pressure era and then completely hated everything he did after The Incredible True Story. And up until kind of Young Sinatra 4 and No Pressure, and even the Dr. Eve tape, I enjoyed that. For me, I was upset. I was one of those people. And looking back, I get where he went, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Lyrically, I'm Skywalker if you ever went to the dark side. I'm assuming he's talking about Luke because Anakin was already Darth Vader at this point. Or Anakin is Darth Vader if you aren't aware. Spoilers for Star Wars. But basically, when you go to the dark side, your powers are a bit easier to access and more electrifying. He's electric with his lyrics. That's one way to say it, I guess. I got gas like Far Cry, R.I.P. It's the M-A-D to the G-I-C. Logic and Madlib is MadGic. Your catalog is tragic. Fuck a underground, fuck a pop sound. He got gas like Far Cry, R.I.P. I haven't really cared enough to play through most of the Far Cry games because it does the same thing that all Ubisoft games do, and you have to like climb up on that thing and open up the rest of the area. So I don't get that reference. And this is not meant to be necessarily underground, and it's not necessarily pop. He's finding this weird middle ground. Made this whole album in lockdown. Hip hop is our town. Hairline like Doc Brown, but I'm killing it. Mad villainous. Fuck a review. We can make it for the people who feel in this. 15 years. Yeah, we still in this. Okay. So he made this whole album in lockdown. Apparently this MadGic album is done. That's a hell of an announcement, right? Hairline is like Doc Brown. I mean, his hairline is receded, for sure. But, you know, he's having fun with it. Mad Villainous, kind of another shout out to Mad Villainy. Fuck a review. We make it for the people who feel in this. Okay, Logic. Alright. I see where... Okay. Yeah, no, he's making this for the people who feel in it. Like, he's just putting music out to see what people like. I mean, you don't have to like everything that an artist does. like I said earlier, like I liked his earlier stuff and then his later stuff. Not so much the in-between stuff. Yo, ayo. Broke in the pop game and they said I sold out. Okay, no doubt. Goal for the window of any business's sold out sign. For making it independently, I'm the outline. You could never outrhyme, outshine. He broke into the pop game and they said I sold out. Now, yeah, you can totally say that. And I would have to agree with a lot of people on that because it definitely did have a shift in sound once he started gaining popularity. I think he said in an interview, or maybe this is something I'm making up, but he did all this rap stuff, like the commercial rap, to make money, and now he's out. And it really does seem like now he's just having fun with it and doing what he actually wants to do. And, you know, I have to respect that. That's totally fine. I understand where you're coming from. And basically he's saying like, yo, isn't the goal of any business to have a sold out sign in the window? Like, think about it. If you are selling something, wouldn't you want to sell out of it? Like, that would be awesome because then that means people want what you're selling. About time I got the recognition. They love you when you ain't got no pot to piss in. Shut the fuck up and listen. Yeah, I was here, and then they ditch him. I retire, and then they miss him. I come back, and then they bitchin'. They love you when you ain't got a pot to piss in. That goes for a lot of independent artists. People who are like, they find you early on. They're often the people who are also upset when you gain popularity. It's really stupid. Like, I could be like, oh yeah, I found Kendrick back when he dropped Overly Dedicated, and I'm one of those day ones. I was there when he had nothing. Like, bro, who gives a fuck? Like, cool, you were riding with him since day one. Now they have succeeded. Why, what you mad for? And then he's just talking about how when he retired, people missed him. And then he comes back and everyone's bitching. It's just a funny thing to talk about. Like, I know damn well that rappers never actually retire, but the general public probably doesn't know that. This then goes into a beat break as well as just kind of a break in what he's saying. Yeah, this is so, you know what it is? I never rapped like this before. It's actually hard. It's actually a challenge, bro. And that's what fucking music is about. And that's what hip-hop's about. Matter of fact, save this. Put in the hook. Here we go. Basically, he's admitting that this is a hard beat to rap on, and I see it. Like, this is not your typical Logic beat or typical beat in general. This is not something that people rap on. This is something that Madlib created for Quasimodo, and Quasimodo isn't someone that anyone like can rap like. So it's totally understandable. Like, this is a weird beat. This is hard to rap on, but this is dope because this shows that he's excited to do this, and like, this is something that he wants to do. And he wanted to keep it in the hook so that people are aware that this is what he's trying to do. This then goes in the second verse. Yo, ayo. This is lyrics when you hear them. Bow down and revere it. Ain't no need to fear it unless your shit is whack. Got nothing but bars. Word to Bourbon Street. Hard as concrete. Take a scalpel to your ankles just to show you defeat. That's dope. This is lyrics when you hear them. People... like, these are lyrics that you can catch right when he says it, but also lyrics that you have to kind of look at and, like, understand. Like, the bars that he just said, they're pretty straightforward, but you might not hear it or get it on first listen. I thought it was funny. Unless your shit is whack, you're going to respect my bars. Because if your shit whack, you're probably one of those people who are just like, nah, he ain't got no skill entirely. He is total trash. But he got nothing but bars. Word to Bourbon Street, hard as concrete. Bourbon Street in New Orleans. I mean, that's where a lot of people go and get fucked up. Take a scalpel to your ankles just to show you defeat. He's gonna cut your ankles. He's gonna cut your ankles to show you defeat. He's showing you feet. He's showing you your feet by cutting your ankles. Like, come on now. Let it register, then peep the receipts. You sow what you reap. A lyrical freak, far from my peak. And the world on the street, I bring the heat. Let it register. Think about what he just said. And then look at the receipts. Look at the lyrics. Look at the transcription. I can't lie to you. I'm here to body you. To hit the motherfucking rendezvous. Check. Shit is God level. The revel. Nobody can rebel. Just continuing to bring the braggadocio. He's just, I'm here to bring the heat. I'm here to bring the flames. Like, the word on the street is he brings the heat, like he said in the previous lines. He's here to body you, to hit the motherfucking rendezvous. This is the meetup. All right, I'll body you now. Like, this is the point at where he's, yo, this is where you're gonna get bodied, bro. I'm sick as the devil. I'm Dwayne Johnson, you a fucking pebble. Presidential with a vessel, never one to embezzle. My dick big, my money gross. Let's toast to excess. He's sick as the devil. The devil is always thought of as this evil creature, this sickening creature. So he is sicker than that, or sick as the devil, sorry. And then he's comparing himself to the rock, and he's comparing you to a tiny pebble. Like, there's a huge difference between the rock and a pebble. And then he just continues to flex with the rest of the lines there. Peep the success, bitch, I'm in the middle of Little Italy. Literally, no way you could never get rid of me. Cause I started from the bottom of the basement, you the fucking garbage. Now I'm on top, you talking shit. Hell nah, bitch. Peep the success. See where he's come from. See where he's at now. He is successful. There's no way you can get rid of him. Like, Logic is so, like, ingrained in hip-hop now that there's really no way to get rid of him. Even though he might not have a classic record yet, he's still had enough of an impact that he's going to be remembered. I'm almost certain of it. And he started from the bottom, in the basement, like all the way down there, like where the garbage is. And now here he is, and people are talking shit. Kind of going back to that previous line about how fans don't really like when you make it for some reason. You mad that I'm rich? You mad that I made it? I'll rub it in your face and paint it in your blood just to illustrate it. Leave these pussies castrated and faces exasperated. Spend all day talking about me, you fascinated. People are still mad that he's made it. Continuing on that previous line, like, now he's on the top and people talking shit. He'll rub it in your face and paint it in your blood just to illustrate it. Like, he's gonna kill you, but to further the point, he's gonna illustrate it in your own blood and then basically rub your face in that. These pussies castrated, your face is exasperated. Spend all day talking about me, you fascinated. Like, he's gonna basically beat the shit out of y'all with his lyrics, or just himself, who knows. But people spend all day talking about Logic. They're just fascinated with him. Those people tend to be the haters who just can't get enough of talking about him, when in reality they probably fans, honestly. I mean, who rides harder for people than the haters, right? I'll rip your intestines out of your abdomen through your asshole and choke you with them. I'm sicker than venom. I'll murder you like OGs in prison due to child molesters and rapists of women. I'm a beach shark that grew legs and evolved from swimming. He's just telling you how brutally he is going to murder you. He's gonna basically turn you inside out and use the parts that he pulled inside, like from inside of you, and choke you with it. Like, bro, he's sicker than venom. He'll murder you like OGs in prison. OGs in prison tend to be the people who, like, yes, they're in prison for some reason, but they also are moral in some way because they will beat and murder child molesters and rapists of women. Like, that is just a no-go for them. You know, I started from the bottom, flows I got him, bars I got him. Yeah, you know, I fucking got him. Leaving you stuttering like out like Joe Biden. Riding the whip with the homies on some Mad City shit. He started from the bottom, flows I got him. Straightforward. He's basically listing off these things that he's got. Like, people should be aware at this point that he's got bars, he's got skill. He just doesn't always display it in the best way, to me at least. And then he just kind of shouts out Kendrick with Riding the Whip on some Mad City shit. It's been a while since Good Kid, Mad City came out, but if you need a refresher, the whole storyline is that he goes out with his homies, and there's a Backstreet Freestyle in the beginning, there's a robbery at some point, he goes meets up Train, he gets fucked up, you know, that sort of thing. But basically, he's in the whip on an adventure, I guess, kind of like that. This is that gritty Brooklyn 9-5 New York City shit. You can hate me now, P. Diddy shit. Started from the bottom, yeah, I really did. And everything they say is true when you get really big. 500,000 for a gig. That's why I bought a Charizard for $250,000. Hip hop Twitter mad. Fuck how you feel. So he's basically saying that the way he's rapping and this beat, I guess, is kind of like the East Coast 9-5 boom bap sort of sound. I kind of disagree with the sound in terms of the production, but yeah, sure. Go for it. You can hate me now, P. Diddy shit. Just kind of a call out to the song Hate Me Now with P. Diddy. He started from the bottom. He mentioned that again. It's honestly, it's just a good filler line. It works. And everything they say is true when you get really big. So all the people who say these things like, oh, when you get real big, this sort of thing is going to happen. This and such is going to happen. Like, he's saying those things that they told me, that's true. That's real. And he's charging $500,000 a gig, which is real expensive, but sure, I can see people paying for that for sure. Like, Logic is one of those dudes that can definitely pull people. But because of what he charges, he was able to afford a Charizard for $250,000. You know, that one Charizard card that's just dummy expensive for some reason. I'm still kicking myself for giving it away 20 years ago. And hip hop Twitter is mad. Fuck how you feel. Yeah, based off of this song, I'm sure hip hop Twitter is going to be mad because a lot of hip hop Twitter likes to hate on Logic. But yeah, people are going to be mad about this because the Logic haters are going to be like, what the fuck? I don't know how to feel about this. He made a good song. He made a song with Madlib. That sort of thing. And that's the end of the song. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I wasn't necessarily the most impressed right away when I first listened to the lyrics or the song and read the lyrics along with it. But reading it back as I was doing this, and I guess just standing up and being in rapper pose, gives me a different insight to it. It was dope though. There was a lot of funny lines. There was a lot of references to stuff that Logic does or has done in the past, and a lot of self-awareness, I'd say, because, you know, Logic is one of those guys that hip-hop Twitter and people just in general likes to hate. And a lot of times, I mean, for me, it could be deserved, because for people like me who had the expectations of Under Pressure and kind of The Incredible True Story, and then got Everybody and Supermarket and whatever the hell else came after that, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, like, I was upset about that. Like, they weren't good. They weren't good in my mind at all. But, you know, looking back at it now, it makes a lot of sense because he got all that attention early on and used that to basically get the money that he wanted. And now that he's at that point in his life where he has money, he doesn't have to do stuff to, you know, appeal to a wider audience. He can just do whatever he wants to do, which is why he dropped that Doc D mixtape, which is why he's working on this, I guess, or well, why he wrote this album with Madlib. So like he's just kind of doing what he wants. And I'm for it. Like, even with me, like, yes, this is not my real job. I don't have a job currently because I'm unemployed, but I do understand that I need a real job because this isn't going to pay the bills, you know? So I need to have a career and make money somehow, so then I can fund my passions. So I get where he's coming from. Anyways, like I said, this song was dope. It far exceeded my expectations. I know a lot of people were really just like, oh my god, Logic's back. And sure, I guess. I mean, this Logic has always been around, but I don't know, he just kind of disappears every once in a while. But I think we're at the point in his career where he'll probably stick around now because he's retired and I'm assuming out of contract. So it's dope. I look forward to seeing whatever comes next from this MadGic project, whenever that actually comes out, if it comes out. I'm assuming Madlib is going to have a hard time clearing a lot of these samples because if you know Madlib, he's one of those people that, I think he even said in an interview, like, he will sample stuff and only get it cleared if they have issue with it because he wasn't super well known at that time. But now everyone knows Madlib, and that's going to be some problems if he tries to pull that same shit. I think that's why Bandana took so long to come out. So we'll have to see. I'm excited for it though. Maybe it's just going to be him rapping on a lot of Madlib's old beats, like, because this was a Lord Quaz or Quasimodo beat originally that got modified slightly. But with that said, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this track, as well as if I missed anything or misinterpreted anything with these lyrics, because as always, that can totally be a thing. I mean, there was bars that I straight up did not know what he's talking about. So let me know. Also remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more content and breakdowns like this. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.